All hostiles are down.
Understood. This is our last chance. We'll see how far we can go.
An explosion inside! Continue the countdown. That's stupid. Weapons supply ship. Do the countdown! There's still one arsenal group left. If we can fill it full of bombs, then Erusea will have a fighting chance. Use cameras to track the supply ships. Don't fight with your back to the supply ship! If it's hit, we're done for.
Hey you, dumbass with a scratch on his tail. You hear me? I need you to help some people. There's a group of refugees surrounded by Erusian tanks right here. Needless to say, their future's not looking too bright.
This is a secure military line. Who is this?
Me. You can call me the Scrap Queen.
Lancaster, she's an ally. Trigger and I'd know that voice anywhere.
That voice. So you're still breathing, Sir Count.
Here's me, Edward. Hey, it's been a while. I had a feeling that you were still alive. Remember, stick with Trigger and you'll make it.
I have a bit of intel for you. I'll share it if you can help those refugees. Count me in.
That's right.
Three strikes, count to three, and the enemy's gone.
Our last vehicle has been destroyed. Let's get out of here.
Let's get moving! Hit the gas and don't let up until we reach the extraction point! I don't want to see anyone, hostile or friendly! Right, but will we make it in time?
A landing ship is waiting for you.
Right, we leave the wounded. This will guarantee us the one-way ticket to hell. Pretty sure we're there already.
We've destroyed all of the targets. All bogies should be ID'd now. Mission complete. Okay, Scrap Queen. Send us the target coordinates.
I was thinking about how I'd do that.
Don't you have a laser target indicator?
Why would she...
Use some canister. This is leading us to the enemy's doorstep. Not me. Wait, you moron! Wait! What are you doing, dumbass? Here! Attack right here!
Lancaster, we confirmed the location of the flare.
That's them. All aircraft, we just updated your threat matrix via data link. Take out those targets.
Don't miss. We don't want to hit the pretty ladies down there.
Missile.
Hurry!
Missile. Missile. Missile.
Good job! The enemy tanks are toast. I don't think I could even do anything with that scrap.
Roger, enemy has a lock on you.
Why did he say that song?
Missile.
Because everyone knows it. No other reason.
Missile. Missile.
Hurry!
Get moving! Target destroyed by Strider 1. They're not refugees. They're criminals.
Roger that. Make them stop singing!
Damn it.
That's them. All aircraft, we just updated your threat matrix via data link. Take out those targets.
Don't miss. We don't want to hit the pretty ladies down there.
Missile.
Hurry!
Missile. Missile. Caution. Caution.
Strider 1, missile launched.
Missile. Missile.
Good job! The enemy tanks are toast. I don't think I could even do anything with that scrap.
Missile. Missile. Missile.
Why did they sing that song?
Missile.
Because everyone knows it. No other reason.
Kester, a promise is a promise. Here's the intel. I heard it from an Erusian soldier that defected. The supply ships will be launched soon.
Yeah, that is valuable information.
That doesn't sound good.
But can it be trusted?
Not sure. Heard it from a man who said he wanted to atone for his sins. Up to you to trust him or not.
Understood. Good luck.
Releasing safety. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Launch. 1, 2, 3. The mass driver is accelerating.
The supply ships have been launched from the mass driver. If the supply ships make it to the Arsenal bird, they'll be able to resupply it. They may be loaded with new weaponry that we don't even know about. We have no choice but to take down the supply ships before they can get within the Arsenal bird's air defense network. You've got to hurry or you're not going to make it. 3 minutes to the enemy's air defense network.
I'm usually pretty good at playing tag.
Missile.
All aircraft, remain on high alert. We got bandits incoming on radar. You're gonna have to forget about them for now. Focus on destroying that supply ship first.
We're sitting ducks like this.
If we let the supply ship get too far away, we'll never be able to shoot. The target's using cloud cover to hide itself. Don't worry, we know where it's heading.
Strider 1, target acquired. Warning, enemy has a beat on you.
Which one first?
That's a confirmed direct hit by the missile. Keep it up. Bring down those supply ships. 90 seconds to the enemy's air defense network.
Don't lose them!
Your plane will ice up if you stay in there too long.
I was expecting this to be easy if all they can do is fly fast.
Missile.
60 seconds remain.
Missile. Missile.
Locked on.
Missile.
The supply ships are on their scheduled flight path. Did you see that explosion? Looks like that's one of them down.
Remember, there are 2 supply ships out there. Hurry up and shoot the other one down.
Missile.
30 seconds remain. Don't give up.
My bird can't take much more, Biff!
Missile.
Supply ships are too far away. We'll never catch them at this rate. Hope you're all enjoying the pretty fireworks. If this thing had any windows, we could have seen it for ourselves. Nice work, team.
We're gonna find ourselves a boat and leave this island. We'll be taking the refugees, along with any deserters from the Erusian military.
Who's the girl that ran at the tanks with the smoke canister? A few more crazies like her and life down there may have been a tad bit easier.
What do you think would have happened to those refugees if you hadn't intervened? The princess saw what happened. They were little kids.
That's why I like the sky. You don't have to see those types of things.
Does this mean we're that much closer to ending the war?
No, we just basically prevented it from going on forever.
Count's right. We have no choice but to return to our original base. Our base that is nearly out of food and fuel. We need to do something.
Good. Take a seat. Everyone's here. All right. Good work in sinking the supply ships. Not to mention saving the refugees. However, we're in no position to start celebrating. Even the commander here is starting to fray from the stress.
Can't say I blame him.
Now, Tyler Island is in a state of complete anarchy. This base isn't safe either. The faces you see around you are the only friends we've got. Take a good look.
We found a boat, then sailed away from the island. We had to. We didn't belong there. The new guy's name was George. I noticed when the anarchist said his name, he said it with a thick Belkan accent. How did you know that he was from Belka?
Well, both my parents were from Belka, so...
You never told me that. They say that Belkans are known for their conspiracies.
That's just a stereotype. Now, I simply stated my honest opinion and was thrown in jail for it.
The princess sat there looking miserable. That was a dumbass stunt she pulled back there, but it got us on this boat. Take a look at that. This ship is heading for a single rope that's hanging down from the sky. Do you know how far the end of that rope reaches?
Outer space.
No. It is a direct connection to the very potential of mankind itself. Or at least it was until war erupted.
It's my strong belief that the rope might be connected to a very distant, faraway source of great conflict and strife. Even long before the war, the whole world started. I often wonder what was going through Harling's mind when he was trying to destroy the very thing that so many people were sacrificed in order to create.
Sacrificed? What do you mean?
Have you seen all of those countless old space shuttles on Tyler Island that are no longer in use?
Yeah. I always thought of them as a good source of scrap. They're an obsolete technology that was abandoned during the construction of the space elevator. Which would mean that if the space elevator was destroyed, it would be that much harder for mankind to reach the stars. Until we find another way.
But even then, Harling still went ahead and tried to destroy it. At the cost of his own life.
That's not the way I heard it. What I heard was that he sacrificed himself to protect the tower from an incoming missile.
Oh, I was told he tried to fly his ship into the tower in order to destroy it.
I wonder which story is true, Your Royal Highness.
I don't know. Looking at it objectively, it's reasonable to believe that Harling had both options before him.
When it comes to which one you think he took, I guess it's like a mirror.
Yes, it is. It's like a mirror looking into your own soul, based on whichever choice you believe it was. At the moment, though, I can only see darkness. I think that thing should be destroyed.
It's time for the briefing. Although, since we don't have any contact with HQ, it's not like this is an official mission. Anyway, it looks like the seizure of Tyler Island and the relief from Osea have been postponed. In the meantime, we just have to do what we can to survive. Since losing its capital city of Ferbanti, Erusian forces have separated into smaller, autonomous factions. It looks like Erusia's...
Strider Squadron, aircraft prep complete. You're cleared to taxi.
No Osean forces are in the region ahead. No allies here. No need to ID your target. We've set a number of priority targets, focusing on their anti-aircraft weaponry. Okay, team, get to work.
Target locked.
Unidentified aircraft, not sure if friend or foe. Fire anyways. We don't have time to be wondering if they're friendlies or not.
Caution. Pull up.
Oh, we capture this base and take the fuel and supplies. That's the plan, right, Trigger?
You take if you want to live. That's how it was where I grew up.
I was just double-checking mission orders, Ocean.
Our anti-air guns are destroyed. Abandon and fall back to our rear position. Retreat!
There are more vehicles along the road. They don't appear to be military. They're Erusian refugees. They must be fleeing since the conflict got worse.
Unidentified aircraft. Fire.
Missile.
What are you talking about? They already are firing on us. The enemy's confused. I know.
Missile. Missile.
That squad with 4 fighters.
Target locked.
Don't stop the car. It'll make us an easier target.
Strider 1, target acquired.
Bandit has a lock.
Fox 2.
Protect the base. We're all out of ammo. Don't give up. We're not going to lose our country again. Our anti-aircraft weaponry is down by 30%. Why are they attacking this base?
So what's this faction split from the Erusian military? The autonomous state of Shalaji used to be a nation. The region has always leaned towards independence. Those who want to restore their homelands flock to it. Apparently, their core consists of officers from Vaslij, which neighbored Shalaji.
Are they our enemies?
They're our enemy's enemy, but not our friends. Watch it. Enemy has a lock on you.
Missile.
Why aren't our planes up in the air?
Missile. Missile.
Target acquired.
Trigger is destroyed.
They're blocking us. Help me!
The resistance is strong. They seem pretty desperate.
Target acquired.
Strider 1, Fox 2.
I'm on my target's tail.
Hit them with AA shells and they'll come down.
Missile. Missile. Missile.
Bandit evaded attack. Trying again. Evading enemy missile.
Locked on.
I'm total. Ejecting. Fire the SAM at once.
Missile. Missile.
Enemy on your back.
Missile. Missile. Missile.
Target is in machine gun range.
They have 4 aircraft. 4 planes incoming. Fire more missiles. Hurry up with takeoff prep.
Coming up on the castle. Let's hurry up and capture this base so we can get its fuel and supplies.
Shit. I feel like we're a group of burglars.
Don't say that. This is for our survival.
Yeah, I know.
Watch it. Enemy has a lock on you.
That's Shalaji Castle.
They're here already. They can pay for what they did to our scouts. Take in both civilians and refugees without discrimination. Get away from the stone buildings and take shelter somewhere sturdier or underground. Drop where you are and cover your head if you hear jet engines. Fox 2, Fox 2. Why aren't Finn and the others airborne?
Missile. 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 Missile.
Strider 1, AA gun destroyed.
That warehouse is filled with ammunition.
Target acquired. Warning, enemy has a beat on you.
Fox 2, Fox 2.
Enemy on your back.
Bandit acquired. Lock on.
Bandit has a lock.
Fox 2.
Strider 1, target eliminated.
These guys are blinding us. We've lost more than half of our forces. The battle won't last much longer. Let them have our lives. As long as our nation stands, the young will carry on. Our air defense capabilities are compromised.
New hostiles. All aircraft confirmed.
This town is of high cultural value. It's unfortunate we had to bomb it like we did.
We do what we need to survive, right?
Not something I'll tell my son about.
AA destroyed! Pursuing ducks! Cancel takeoff. Soul Squadron, stand by.
Negative. This battle's over if we don't get up there. We're all with hope of restoration. Don't worry. As long as we accelerate inside the tunnel, they won't be able to shoot us down that easily.
Warning, enemy has a beat on you. Their interceptors are in the air.
All right.
Getting to takeoff speed inside the tunnel is insane.
Soul Squadron, airborne. Shoot the invaders out of our skies. Good luck, Soul Squadron.
Understood. You are in violation of Shalaji airspace. Turn around or we'll be forced to shoot you down.
This is the Ocean Long Range Strategic Strike Group. Land immediately and hand over your planes and base to us.
You must be the snowbirds. It's absurd for you to talk in some town that goes in one of the meetings at Labanti. You bastard! You defile this country. As long as you're here, this country will never know peace. Shit!
Strider 1, target acquired.
There's no need to get involved. Locked on, Bandit. These guys expect us to surrender? I'll kill them myself. Hostile has a lock.
Missile.
guys are pretty good.
Missile. Missile.
Warning, enemy has a beat on you.
Missile. 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 Missile.
Locked on.
Missile. Missile.
V2 and I will take care of that one.
Missile.
Understood it.
Missile. 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 Missile.
Strider 1, Fox 2.
They think they're a band of knights. I hate them even more. They think they're actual nobility. I'm out! Ejecting! I hope he's okay. Bailing out under those conditions. I can see his parachute. Let's pray he makes it to safety.
3 to go. Don't let them work together. Back up trigger. Welcome.
Righto! Target locked. Bandit has a lock.
These guys are just as responsible for Wiseman.
Movement hit. He's ejected. Damn. We can't even last long enough to buy ourselves some time. As expected, but a lucky shot will be boring. Some kind of energy weapon. No, it's a railgun.
Strider 1, you have a bogey approaching at high speed. Bearing 090, straight from the east. High-speed projectile launch from enemy aircraft.
I'm testing this aircraft. You must find your own sky. I can still help you. Don't waste your life. Dedicated to reclaiming that which you call home. Furthermore, you must find someone to guide you. I'm not that person. Mihai. Muscle Gene Squad will be retreating. Those fighting below are advised to temporarily withdraw. Don't die. As long as we're alive, our hopes and dreams live on. Hey, look at the color of that plane. Damn, that's the flames of hell. Time for payback.
Negative. It's no good. I can't get close enough.
Leave it to Trigger. The rest of us will just get in the way. The rest form a perimeter to catch whatever slips through.
Strider 1 was shot down. High-speed projectile launch from enemy aircraft.
I'm testing this aircraft. You must find your own sky. We can still help you.
Missile.
Don't waste your life. Dedicated to reclaiming that which you call home.
Missile.
Furthermore, you must find someone to guide you.
Missile.
I'm not that person. Mihai.
Missile.
Muscle Gene Squad will be retreating. Those fighting below are advised to temporarily withdraw. Don't die. As long as we're alive, our hopes and dreams live on. Hey, look at the color of that plane. Damn, that's the flames of hell. Time for payback.
Negative. It's no good. I can't get close enough.
Leave it to Trigger. The rest of us will just get in the way. The rest form a perimeter to catch whatever slips through. Welcome. Might just cost us our lives. Someone to guide us. I can't think of anyone out there than you.
Unidentified aircraft, land your plane and surrender. Why do you feel the need to continue fighting on your own?
That's funny. It seems like one of the pilots is also fighting alone.
He's not alone. Look around you.
I see. Perhaps it would have been best to entrust the future to pilots like that. Let me test him then, to see if he's truly worthy. Hey, look. It's like the sky's been sliced wide open. The experimental unit probably needs itself a new toy.
Target acquired.
Strider 1 is down.
High-speed projectile launch from enemy aircraft.
I'm testing this aircraft. You must find your own sky. We can still help you. Don't waste your life. Dedicated to reclaiming that which you call home. Furthermore, you must find someone to guide you. I'm not that person. Really?
Missile.
Hostile Legion squad will be retreating. Those fighting below are advised to temporarily withdraw. Don't die. As long as we're alive, our hopes and dreams live on.
Missile. Missile.
Hey, look at the color of that plane. Damn. That's the flames of hell. Time for payback.
Missile.
Negative. No good. I can't get close enough.
Leave it to Trigger. The rest of us will just get in the way. The rest form a perimeter to catch whatever slips through. Welcome. That just cost us our lives.
Missile.
Someone to guide us. I can't think of anyone other than you. Lean together with me, Hyde taught me something. Drone fighters don't it's the cosmos of the skies. And there what the most Legion Air Force should be fighting against.
Hit on unidentified aircraft. The enemy's mobility is still unfazed. Keep up the attack. Unidentified aircraft, land your plane and surrender. Why do you feel the need to continue fighting on your own?
That's funny. It seems like one of the pilots is also fighting alone.
He's not alone. Look around you.
I see. Perhaps it would have been best to entrust the future to pilots like that. Let me test him then, to see if he's truly worthy.
That bastard's moving in a way that minimizes the damage even when he's hit.
Fox
Keep
3.
firing those missiles until you blow him to pieces.
Missile.
Watch it. Enemy at the
Look,
bottom.
it's like the sky's been sliced wide open. The experimental unit probably made themselves a new toy.
100%. Targeting correction, 0.8 degrees.
Strider 1, missile launched. The railgun is firing again.
This weapon is not enough to take down 3 strikes. This aircraft is my body. If they are not enough, then I must put my soul into it. There are pilots like you in every generation, and I've felled every last one of them.
Bad news. Its accuracy is increasing with each shot. Take it down as quickly as possible. It's a hit. The unidentified aircraft is going down.
You got him. Trigger has splashed a bandit.
Can you hear me, pilot with the 3 strikes? This was all due to my ego. I unleashed pure chaos upon this world, just so I could keep my wings. Put a stop to the drone production.
Is this a message to Trigger? What does it mean?
I don't think this war is over just because we shot down Mr. X. Yeah, it's gonna take something else entirely to end this thing. I just don't know what.
Belosian forces are in the region ahead.
The resupply... Luckily, the room...
When we got to the mainland, we found the space elevator's support facility. I guess this was the factory where they built the gigantic structure the elevator traveled in. There was this little girl sitting in front of a mural. When the princess saw her, she shuddered like she'd seen a ghost. The girl had a stuffed animal. This was the day after the shit went down at Tyler Island. She walked right up to the princess, took her hand, and led her into the factory. One thing's for sure, they knew each other. The factory had been converted to a production line for Erusian drones. It was fully automated and chugging along, making drone after drone after drone. Once they got inside, the princess stopped and just stood there. Another girl was there with a man in a lab coat. He was trying to use his keyboard, but she wouldn't let him. She took a data chip and threw it on the ground. Then she walked over to us and took the gun from the prison guard's holster. She pulled the trigger and destroyed the chip. Later, I found out that the girl with the gun and the one with the stuffed animal were sisters. They were also the granddaughters of Mihai A. Szilagyi, the legendary pilot. Gramps used to talk about him. He said Mihai was the top ace from 2 wars ago. Know any Belkans? Because this guy was a Belkan, and they love to stir shit up. Pitting nations against other nations is a particular favorite of theirs, along with developing hyper-advanced technology.
That's right. I'm Belkan, born and raised. My country is gone now. Rather than surrender to its enemy, Belka detonated 7 nuclear weapons on its own soil. My people scattered around the globe, living in the shadows of other countries. We had a new purpose: to breed wars. The theory was that through war, we could achieve our destiny and our revenge. I had just finished inputting Mihai's data when his granddaughter came in. She destroyed the only copy I had of the information I squeezed out of him. The girl loved Mihai. No one knew more than her just how hard I pushed her grandfather for that data, how much I made him sacrifice in the process. I promised his granddaughters that his efforts were not in vain, that it could end this terrible war. But in the end, it only caused more chaos and despair. We were responsible for all this damage, all this tragedy. Now, we were going to pay for it. The Erusians, once our allies, would see to that. I had lost the drive to continue my work, even before I noticed Mihai's granddaughters eyeing me with suspicion that one day. I should have stopped then, for all our sakes. Mihai's granddaughter tossed the gun aside. She said if she resorted to killing, she'd just end up like the rest of us. And by us, she meant everyone, including the princess. Like me, the princess was afraid to look into the girl's eyes. She knew that by encouraging her people, she kept the war going. Mihai and his granddaughter were victims of it, and now, they too were paying the price.
Is this for Belka? Or for Erusea? My grandfather had only one wish: to continue soaring through the endless skies. That was the only place where he felt alive. But I don't even have a country to call home, let alone the sky. The Black Forest, the lake, they are no longer mine. Even though those lands were once cherished by my late mother. We have to learn to put that sense of nostalgia behind us and behave like mature adults.
My homeland. She's right. It feels so far away now. The woman with the rifle approached me. She was focused on more pressing issues.
I checked the computer. All of the data on the legendary Ace had already been installed.
No, I pulled it before it was completed. However, there are 2 aircraft that are...
We must destroy the factory.
This isn't the only one. There are more facilities just like it. And the 2 planes containing the data will be manufactured at one of those facilities.
So, this place runs on solar power that the space elevator generates, right? How about the others? We can destroy the space elevator and cut the power to them. First things first, let's take this one out.
I'll show you which locations to target.
I stood there, thinking about that mural by the factory's entrance. Harling commissioned it to be painted. I realized that in the background, behind the dancing figures, the artist had painted several space elevators. I understand now. The space elevator wasn't designed to exploit Erusia after all.
Good. And afterwards, we'll bring down the space elevator itself. No matter why it was built, right now, it's the root of this chaos.
I wonder...
Yes?
I wonder which path you would choose when looking at Harling's mirror.
Let's get the briefing started.
We've done enough air operations. Just let us go home.
There's no path for us to get home. Whatever direction you fly, it'll be right into a hail of enemy fire. Earlier, we received a communication via the partially restored General Network. Here is what it contained. Apparently, the Erusian radicals have gathered around the space elevator, as it's a source of energy. Give the warmongers a powerful energy source, and you give them the luxury to keep on fighting. In response to this, people from both Osea and Erusia have joined forces, and will take down the final Arsenal bird in a saturation attack from the air and the sea. Once that's achieved, they'll take the space elevator from the aggressors.
Has the source been verified?
It could be fake. I hear you. Take a look at what's written at the end. Hey, dumbass. If you want to bring the world back from the brink, go to the lighthouse. You can see the future.
Dumbass? Sounds familiar.
It certainly does. It's from those guys we met in Tyler Island. The 444 Squad. It's a message to all those looking to end the war. But I also think it's a message for Trigger.
Guess we'll do what it says.
Okay. Well then, I'm thinking we go roast that damn bird.
Looks like we're all on the same page. It's time to end this war. Time to fly, guys. Let's go get that Arsenal bird.
Strider Squadron, sortie ASAP.
We need help! Don't let them damage more! Show them what the erosion, no, what fighter pilots are made of! Thanks, I owe you. No sweat.
Get into formation. We have the numbers.
Well, if it isn't the LRSSG, looks like our luck has turned. LRSSG, you will secure air superiority. There are Erusian aircraft in the Coalition, so they have been ID'd as friendly via the data link.
Just confirmed it.
The Erusian government aircraft, including drones, will show up as hostiles. You two aces, I'm thinking it's time to show us what you've got.
We don't have two anymore. Guess nobody told them.
That's quite true, Count. It's not just two. Wiseman trained his squad. Well, everyone's still in it as an ace. He'd be proud of you all.
To all of you who have gathered here, regardless of your country, this is headquarters of the Ocean Army Southern Command. Wait, you can forget that designation. We are a coalition formed exclusively for the sole purpose of taking down the Arsenal Bird. Wait until we're ready to strike the Arsenal Bird in unison. Roger.
Ross, you're doing speaking on an open channel. The enemy can hear everything he's saying. There's no other choice. The Erusian aircraft are in the coalition as well.
Gold Squadron and Rigel Squadron of the Erusian Air Force. We're here on our own. Lancaster, we're entering your airspace.
Missile.
This is SIL-2. Republic of Bosnia are also moving to rendezvous. There's only one squadron, though.
So Mr. Rice's crew.
Count, ease up. Engagement is forbidden.
Don't worry, I know. We need every bird we can call upon. Even if they were flying with the guy that killed Wiseman. Some of their squadrons are in weird formations.
They have manned aircraft with UAVs and slave mode.